Hi, Leela. I finally have your reading ready. Sorry that it took me so long. I am actually a full-time student and I run a separate business as well. So I get really, really backed up during the day with schoolwork and things like that. So I try to concentrate on doing my readings at nighttime. I did start working on your reading this morning, but unfortunately, throughout the day today, every time I tried to stop and make your video, just there's just so many distractions during the day. And with tarot, it's very important that you have a good, quiet, sacred space to pull cards in because a lot of tarot readers, especially myself, we really like to take the time before we pull cards to meditate and really concentrate on the situation that we're pulling cards for. So, in a sense, we kind of pull that energy from the universe. And that helps us provide you with a much more accurate reading. So I did complete your reading, and I did do a 7 card reading for you. I did pull one clarifier at the end, and we'll go over that. I'm just going to kind of go over everything with you in detail. Kind of the way I like to read cards is I will typically pull the card and then I will take some notes for myself on, just general things that I think the specific card might mean for you in response or in regards to your personal situation. So, bear with me if it kind of seems like I'm going in left field. I'm really not. I do take notes the whole time I'm doing readings because I like to make sure that I remember to tell you everything that about that card that would pertain to your situation and why it's coming up for you. So, of course, at the end, if you have any questions once you view it, you are very more than welcome to contact me by email or give me a call on my cell, and I'd be happy to go over anything with you or answer any additional questions that you might have. But I think I'm pretty sure you'll have it all together and we'll have it all figured out at the end of your reading. So let's get started. The first card I pulled is going to be in representation to your situation. So it's going to represent your situation as a whole. So your general question. You asked me about your granddaughter and about your relationships as well. So this is kind of a situation as a whole. Now, when I pulled this card, I really felt like it had more of an influence and it was more about your granddaughter than it was anything else. But the first card we got was actually the Knave of Pentacles, which is also the Page of Pentacles. Now, when pages show up, they are typically young females in our lives, and that is why I related this card to specifically to your granddaughter. And the thing with pages are, especially the Page of Pentacles, excuse me, let me get my notes, is that they often refer to someone that is still learning to live in the real world. So they're very young and they haven't figured life out yet. Normally they're, either in their late teens or they are in their very early 20s. Sometimes they've just moved out on their own. So that's what we get when we see a page come up. Is typically a very young female who is still trying to figure out how to make it in the world. They assume that they are prepared to live as adults when really they're not. Now, one thing about the Page of Pentacles is that this particular page shows a lot of energy and a lot of passion and is very motivated. And I feel like that relates to your granddaughter well. I feel like she's probably a very intelligent girl. I feel like she's probably very motivated, very strong-willed. So that card seemed to fit very well here. Now, she's got a very, very, very great potential for being successful. But right now, during this particular period in time, because she is still so young and things are confusing when you're a teenager, she has been making some unrealistic and irresponsible decisions. And that's what led to the current situation at hand. Now, what will likely happen is because she you know, it still has a lot to learn and there's a lot going on. I do really believe that she will be returning home. I feel like things, and you'll see why later in the reading, but I feel like things will eventually all come to a head and she'll realize that you know, she's made a mistake and it's time to head back home. I really feel like that. And when I pulled this card, and my spirit guides have really also been very helpful in assisting me with this, and I've gotten nothing but positive, you know, positive information from them, positive advice. So everything looks good. I believe that she is safe. I don't believe she's being harmed or anything like that. I believe that she is safe. I just think that, you know, she's at that age where, you know, we think that we have it all together, and we think we know what we want and where we're going, and we think we know everything. And so, you know, we tend to make some unrealistic decisions there. So I believe that's where we're going. So that's the card, your first card. So that was kind of like a representation of just the situation as a whole. And we, like I said, I believe that this card specifically is in reference to your granddaughter. So then the second card that I pulled is going to be kind of the effects of the situation. So what this has actually caused, what side effects this has caused for you, really. And so the card we got there was the Nine of Swords. And so with the Nine of Swords, what we tend to see is a lot of anxiety. Usually when the Nine of Swords comes up, we see a very anxious person who has a lot of stress. And it may not just particularly be with one given situation. It may be with several factors. You know, there could be many things that affect us and create anxiety for us. But another thing to keep in mind with the Nine is that it also, a lot of times, is an indication that we are overthinking things. Our minds tend to get the better of us sometimes, and we do tend to, I know I do especially, we tend to overthink things. And so we tend to overprocess something, and then we create scenarios in our own minds that create a bunch of unnecessary anxiety for us. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But what tends to happen is we fall into this period of, you know, a very stressful time, and things are mounting up, and we have a lot of constant worry. And this in turn will create a lot of restless nights. We might start having problems sleeping. A good indication sometimes even with this card is someone might be having nightmares. You know, high levels of stress, disruption of sleep patterns, and peace of mind, really. And this is just due to the external influences of life. And, you know, unfortunately, it's something that we all experience, I think. But I think that this was a good placement of this card because I think it makes a lot of sense in relation to the situation that's currently going on with your granddaughter. The upside to the Nine of Swords is that even though things are very stressful and very hectic right now, and there's a lot going on and you have a lot of worry, I can really feel the emotion weighing heavily on your heart about your granddaughter. But the good thing with the Nine is that things do improve. This is only a temporary anxiety, and this is only a temporary stress. So things will begin to improve. And like I said before, with the first card, I really believe that your granddaughter is going to eventually come home. So that may be where that improvement lies within the Nine of Swords. So we're good so far. So then the third card I pulled is kind of going to be in representation of your support system. So anything or anyone in your life that you have that, you know, is there to kind of offer you guidance and support and offer advice to you through everything that you're currently going through right now. And so for that card, we've got the King of Pentacles. And with the king, I believe that this king, and usually with kings, queens, pages, and knights, those usually represent actual people in our lives. So when we see those come up, usually they are in reference to an actual person. And I believe the King of Pentacles in this spread is in relation to or in reference to your boyfriend or husband. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you're married or... but I do believe that it is in reference to him. And this shows someone that has fought very hard to be where he is at. He is a visionary and he plans. He's very reliable, he's very generous, and he offers practical support. He's very happy in his relationships. So, I think that even though we might have things, external influences that come up in our lives that, create stress on our relationships, aside from that, at the end of the day, I believe that he's happy. And I do believe that he's there to be that support system for you and help you and offer you advice and guidance in any way that he can while you guys are going through this situation with your granddaughter. Um, he has firm boundaries and he protects his family. So that's another thing with this king. He's very protective of his family. He loves his family. I mean, this is someone that is willing to go to the ends of the earth for their family. Um, and he is also good with numbers. This is normally a person that is very, very good with numbers. Um, so but any conflicts that you have with him will be resolved. That's a good thing with that comes up with the King of Pentacles, is that when we have conflicts with this particular person, usually they are resolved and we smooth things over and we go on, about the day. But this is your support system. This particular person is your support system. And I truly believe that this is in representation to your husband. So there we have that. And then let me flip my page here. Sorry, get on my notes. So now we have the internal influences, or kind of like the influences of the universe. So when we open up our hearts and I always tell people to kind of think of your heart as a radio station. It's the universe's favorite radio station. And in order for the universe to pick you up and hear you clearly, you have to open your heart completely. And when we do that, we open ourselves up to receiving influences that are beyond our control, good or bad, from the universe, because the universe kind of has its own plan. Um, you know, we can't really control what it has in store for us, but we can control how we react to the situations that the universe presents us with. So the card that we got there is going to be the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is a very, very positive card. So this influence from the universe is actually something that's going to be very positive for you. It shows that you will be reunited with someone that you've lost. So in this particular situation, I believe that this is in reference to your granddaughter, because the Six of Cups always shows us being reunited with someone that we've lost. And I do believe, like I said, that this is in reference to her. Happy memories and good things from the past will come up here when this card is seen in a reading. It may actually even show you taking a trip back home if you're from out of state. It may show you taking a trip back home and just kind of connecting back to your roots. It's a very, very, very good card. It's all about reminiscence and holding on to your past, the good things in your past, the good memories, going back to your roots, keeping with the tradition of family. But the key factor with it is that you do reunite with someone that you've lost. So I think we're really good there. This card also brings with it a lot of compassion and a lot of kindness. So again, we would be kind of going back to the support system here with the third card in the King of Pentacles. We have a lot of compassion coming at us, and we have a lot of kindness, and we have a lot of, just open hearts and love, unconditional love. So those are all good things that come to us when we see the Six of Cups come up in a reading. So there we have that. And then the fifth card is going to kind of be like your external influences. So these are things that kind of, and the things or the people that kind of, show up and either can present us or cause good things for us, help us in situations, or they can do quite the opposite. They can cause problems, conflict, whatever. That's what we see when we get any kind of external influences. And for that card, we've got the Queen of Wands. Now, I'm not sure who this would be in your situation, because like I said, Pages usually represent young females, knights usually represent young males, kings will represent older males, and queens will usually represent older females. So this will be like, a mother figure. With the Queen of Wands, she follows her soul's path. She is supportive and she's intensely loyal. She's self aware and she's in touch with her intuition, and she makes good decisions. Opportunities will come your way with this card. So a lot of times the queen will bring with her many good opportunities. It doesn't necessarily have to represent an actual person in your life. Many times they do, but it doesn't actually have to represent. With the Queen of Wands, I actually a lot of times think that this is more of an influence of nature, because we have the tree and everything and the fire. So I really always usually kind of expect this one to be more of an influence from nature than an influence from an actual person. But then again, it could very well be a person as well. But your relationships will be energized, and your opportunities will be, there will be a lot of opportunities. Nature and animals, that's both love of nature and animals. That's another thing that comes up with this card that we see a lot. So that's there. And then we have the next card, the sixth card, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this card is going to represent you in the situation. This is your place in the situation, or where you're at with the entire situation, given your support system and your internal and external influences. And so where has this left you? And so for that card, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And excuse me, my dog is coughing down there. And with the Queen of Pentacles, she is a very generous and supportive woman. She's very strong. She has a strong maternal instinct. She's very affectionate, very wise, wisdom beyond her years, takes great care of her home. And these are all things that I really felt like were representative of you, just from my email with you and just from the energy that I picked up in kind of talking back and forth with you. I really kind of picked these things up from you. So I really felt like this was a very fitting card in this position. It is a good representation of you, I believe. And with this queen, the chance for not only positive relationships and good health, it can also be a good indication of a very sensual sex life, and just all around happiness and abundance of joy. Another thing that comes with this particular queen is the potential or the opportunity for financial gains. So that's another good indication that usually comes up when we see the queen. But I think that given the previous cards in the reading, it's really looking like, you guys are gonna really, you have the strength that you need already. You really already do. You have the strength that you need already inside of you to handle whatever it is. But I think, according to what we've done so far in this reading, I really, really think that things are going to work out for you guys. And I think it's going to be very positive and very good. Now, your outcome, and this is interesting. For your outcome, we got the Knight of Wands. And there's the knight. And with, as I said before, pages and knights usually represent the younger people in our lives. So pages will be the younger females, knights will be the younger males. I don't know if your granddaughter has a boyfriend or not. I don't remember if you mentioned that, but I got a very, very, very strong feeling and a very, very strong indication when I pulled this card that this was in reference to a boyfriend that your granddaughter may have. And this particular knight, this young man, he is very fast-paced moving. So events move very quickly for him. He likes to do things in his own way, and he is very, very good at influencing those around him with his own personal ideals. He's very impatient, and he makes snap judgments, and he tends to take things very fast, and he can be egotistical. So he thrives on status, but he's really unwilling to do any of the work necessary to actually earn anything on his own, but he will take credit, if that makes sense. He is attention seeking, and he will act out of self-interest. Now, I know that this is the outcome card. And as I said, I really believe that this is in reference to or a representation of a possible boyfriend that your granddaughter may have. I got a strong indication of that when I was doing your reading. But because this is an outcome, that being said, it doesn't really tell us, what may happen, what the possibilities are, what is going to be the actual potential outcome. It just kind of tells us about the boyfriend. So I pulled a clarifier card for this. And the card that we got is the Tower. And so with the Tower, everything, it's all about sudden shock and chaos. And it's all about your world coming crashing down around you. And this is something that is unavoidable. So, it's, it will be, there will be a shift in awareness with this card. And so it's kind of like a wake up call. And I think what this is suggesting is that, if this is the case and this is a representation of the boyfriend, and as I said before, with the cards that you have, it does, this spread is a really good indication to me that your granddaughter will be returning home. So in that case, if this is in fact a representation of her boyfriend, then what this card, the Tower, is telling us is that everything that he thinks he has going for him right now is about to come crumbling down around him. So he will undoubtedly suffer the consequences of whatever influence he has made on your granddaughter to run away from home or anything like that. Everything that he has done to influence that, or anyone else for that matter, in a negative way, all of those things, his ego is fixing to be shattered, and that world is fixing to come crumbling down around him. The good thing that comes out of the Tower is that once that happens and we kind of have this chaotic situation, and things kind of seem crazy and we're not sure what we're going to do, is after all those things come crumbling down, we then, the other people in the situation, are able to kind of look through that rubble and go back and retrace, the areas where, or the areas that led up to this happening. And so we can actually rebuild something brand new on a much, much stronger foundation. So overall, what this outcome is saying is that, I think his world is going to come crashing down, but I think you guys as a family, once your granddaughter does return home, I think that you guys as a family are going to be able to really, really, really strengthen your bonds together and come together as a family again. And I think that it's going to be a much stronger bond. There's going to be just an abundance of love. And I think that, because of this situation, you guys will all be stronger because of it. And so you're going to come out okay in the end. Everything is going to work out for you guys in the end. It's a really good indication of that. And so that's kind of where your spread has kind of led this situation. I wish I had some kind of indication for you about when she might possibly be returning home. Unfortunately, with tarot, we don't many times get, the definite answers that we want. It's insight into what is coming. So I don't really have an indication of, when or where, or, when she might be coming home. But I do have a great indication of the fact that she will definitely be returning. It's just a matter of when. So I really, really hope that this has helped you, and I hope that, it gives you some peace of mind, and I hope that it, kind of makes you feel a little bit better, and will maybe, take some of that stress off of you and kind of ease up some of that anxiety that you have going on. I am not a grandmother, but I can only imagine, what you must be going through with her missing. I know that's got to be a very scary thing, but like I said, I really feel like I've gotten very good indication here that she is safe and that she will be returning. I just don't know when, but it looks like everything will eventually work out for you guys, and your family will be much stronger and much more closer. You know, you'll build great bonds here. So that's what I've got for you. Please, if you have any questions about your reading or any of the cards, or if there was anything that I didn't answer, please, please, please feel free to contact me anytime. And I will email you the video link for this video so that you can view your reading. And then I will also in the email include a link where you can go and leave feedback about your reading from me today. So I wish you the very best of luck in all of your future endeavors, and I wish your granddaughter the best of luck. And I hope you guys all end up very, very happy. And thank you so much, Leela, for choosing Purple Moon for your tarot card reading. I really appreciate your business. And as I said, please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Okay? All right. Thanks so much. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.